Hi friends, today I am going to review the book, Build Your Customer Strategy, A Guide to Creating Profitable Customer Relationships, by James G. Barnes. Why people buy drills. You know what being a frustrated customer feels like. You can probably list all the things the company should have done when it was serving you. But are you sure your company isn't guilty of the same kinds of omissions? Many executives believe their companies are client-focused because they have a customer relationship management (CRM) system in place and know a lot about what their customers buy. I have often wondered if we were to survey the customers of some companies that have implemented CRM, whether those customers would have noticed any difference. However, ask yourself how much effort you really put into the customer experience. Do you really get it? Do your customers feel an emotional connection with your products or services? Have they bonded with your company? Do you understand why they should? These days, competition is fierce in almost all markets. Customers are empowered and knowledgeable. They can buy anything they need from a wide variety of sources, or they can switch to other products. Business people with whom I deal, themselves passionately involved customers ready to criticize other firms, seem to be blinkered when it comes to how their own firms are behaving. You may feel that having gigabytes of data is vital to understanding your customers. Data is easy to collect and analyze. However, when you use CRM systems to target your marketing efforts or gather customer information, you are changing the way your company serves consumers. You are replacing potential personal connections with spreadsheets, mailings, and sterile shopping. Marketing in the future will have to involve less sell and more serve, less push and more pull, less tell and more listen. If you put on your customer hat and imagine that you are on the receiving end of all those targeted messages, they might appear less wonderful to you. The customer buys goods and services not as ends in themselves, but for what the goods and services enable them to do. CRM software cannot replace meeting and even anticipating your customer's needs. Someone once said that people don't buy a drill to have a drill, they buy a drill because they need a hole. Satisfied customers aren't necessarily loyal. Don't assume that repeat customers are loyal ones. For now, they may be satisfied with what you provide, but just a single mistake on your part or a compelling message from someone else could cause them to take their business elsewhere. Satisfied customers buy because you meet their expectations. However, satisfaction is ephemeral and depends on each interaction with your business. CRM measurements are accurate for a given moment in time, but they can't capture the depth of customer commitment over the long term. There's a major difference between satisfaction that drives functional loyalty and satisfaction that drives emotional loyalty. Just as there is good and bad cholesterol, there is good and bad satisfaction. Loyal customers feel an emotional connection to your business that goes far beyond loyalty rewards programs. Loyalty starts with good service, but it evolves into a mutual personal relationship. The company makes the effort to know and care for the customer, and the customer makes a personal commitment to the business. If you are creating the same kinds of value as the competition, you will simply be lost in the crowd. You must create more valuable value. Think about the exceptional businesses you know. How did the employees treat you? Did they simply respond to questions once you chased them down? Or did they reach out to you? Were they personable and interested in your needs? The foundation of good customer service is getting the basics right, but to build personal relationships you must go beyond the basics. At this higher level of connection you differentiate yourself and create meaningful value for the customer. Creating value. Customers assume that companies will provide functional value and do their core activities well. When most companies think about improving their functional value, they use linear thinking. How can we do better what we already do? Linear thinking is not very creative or strategic. It involves creating more products, improving the ones you have, or improving service. 80% of companies surveyed believed that they delivered a superior experience to their customers. But when customers were asked, they rated only 8% of companies as truly delivering a superior experience. You can't move up to emotional value without functional value, but emotional value is even more important. To create emotional value for the customer, think laterally. Instead of improving on the same old things, do something different. Creating connections. The idea that companies can build emotional connections with their customers is new to many managers. The first level of customer involvement is the transaction. If you interact with your customers mostly when they have complaints and you receive few positive comments, you may be selling your products adequately, but that's about all. The people whom you put in front of customers are of critical importance in creating the right atmosphere and experience. Keeping both your overt and implied promises to your customers is the beginning of creating true customer satisfaction. However, to earn their emotional commitment, you must go beyond keeping promises to personal interactions and exceptional friendliness. To build strong bonds with customers, follow these 12 principles. Demonstrate that you appreciate their business, never take them for granted. Earn their trust, be consistent, dependable and reliable, get the basics right. Single them out for attention, personalize, customize, listen to your customers and demonstrate genuine interest. Partner with them, help them achieve and accomplish, go the extra mile to help your customers achieve their goals. A Canadian sports store, for example, organizes running groups to help their customers run their first marathon. Create customer involvement. Build communities, make sure customers get involved with your product, even if that means they'll have to put it together themselves, as at IKEA. Establish effective two-way communication. Respond to phone calls, letters and email. Check in regularly, and sending a bill doesn't count. Share things with your customers, show that you're part of the community. One company succeeded in winning over the competition by labeling itself the home team. Customers chose it over the visitors, the company from outside the community. Remind them of things, revive people's good memories. Craft customers like the brand because they say it reminds them of toasting marshmallows over a campfire. Associate with what's central in their lives. Show them how your product or service will enhance their family lives and other activities. Piggyback on their relationships with others, research your customers' interests. If they are jazz lovers, underwrite the local appearance of Diana Krall. If they're golfers, organize a tournament. Make decisions about partnerships, sponsorships and spokespeople on the basis of this kind of borrowed meaning. Get rid of irritants and stupid rules. ATM customers get annoyed when the bank is always out of envelopes. People returning items to stores don't like to fill out long forms. Design your bureaucracy for your customers' convenience, not your own. Surprise them every now and then, offer them something extra that they don't expect. For example, after a hotel guest had gotten caught in the rain while running, the concierge offered to dry his clothes. Then he returned the clothes to the guest, not only dry but also clean. A 5% increase in customer loyalty can double a firm's profitability. Of course, the kinds of experiences you create for your customers must be consistent with your brand and your marketing message. Making employees adhere to scripts can prevent certain kinds of mistakes, but it can also drive customers away. People can detect a canned interaction right away. Eliminate anything about your business that even hints that you don't care. Make sure the aisles are clean and the shelves organized. Keep special events fresh. Just because something worked well last year doesn't mean it will work again now. Intervene when interactions go wrong. Make sure employees know what you want them to do and train them in recognizing problems and de-escalating and resolving bad situations. Acquisition and retention. Although not all customers are equally valuable, don't assume that you know which customer segments to expand and which to write off. Your CRM database cannot accurately predict future revenue streams. Instead, it gives a clear, detailed view of the past. Put your energy into acquiring loyal customers rather than into identifying and firing the undesirables. If we base our investment in future marketing efforts on historic sales or profitability, we will never grow the business of the less valuable customers. Although every business needs new customers, acquiring them is generally expensive, and even after you attract them once, they may never make a second purchase. Word of mouth is the most cost-effective way to acquire new customers. Your current customers set an example by using your products. However, most of your profitability will come from a loyal, emotionally connected customer base. They provide a rich return on investment because they spend over the long term. Because they value what you provide, they are less price sensitive than new customers. They also cost less to serve because they know your processes. We are seeing greater use of so-called day-in-the-life research, where researchers, often accompanied by a video crew, spend a full day or more with customers, observing and asking questions. Loyal customers are unlikely to desert you because of a single mistake, especially if you handle mistakes quickly. Make the correction strong enough to overcome the residual negative effects of the mistake. Measuring loyalty. Standard CRM measures that come from customer data don't accurately reflect the level and quality of your connections with your customers. To find out about your relationships with customers, meet with them individually or in small groups. Ask them about what's on their minds. Watch for patterns. The world has changed out there, and the simple message is that many firms are going to have to change how they deal with customers or risk losing them. To become truly customer-focused, you need to develop long-term relationships, not one-time sales. The customer is the one who ultimately determines whether you are customer-focused. Always think about the customer in terms of both service and emotional response. Go for new information that is actionable. Achieving greatness. Companies with loyal customers have these things in common. 1. Leaders who are passionate about people. They want to make a difference in the world and they lead by example. 2. Pride in their history and heritage. Their websites often tell the company story. 3. Well-defined positioning. They have strong brands and customer bases. 4. Ability to establish next practices. These are more than best practices. Others in the industry look to them for direction. 5. Genuine commitment to the well-being of their employees. They take hiring seriously and offer training, high salaries and exceptional benefits. 6. Strong commitment to social and environmental responsibility. They encourage employees to volunteer and they use environmentally sustainable practices as well as materials. 7. Strong values and an unshakable commitment to them. For example, Dell calls its philosophy the soul of Dell. Its values are teamwork, direct relationships, global citizenship, and a winning culture. 8. Understanding how to create meaning for customers, employees, and society. For example, the Royal Bank of Canada offers special services to students and recent graduates, demonstrating its commitment to education. Give your employees the authority to bend rules and do some different things to create emotional value. Telling your customers you are customer-focused often sounds false. People will notice if you're doing a good job. Shelves of books on your customer policies don't matter if your actions don't match them. Wear your customer hat to work every day. Takeaways. 1. Put on a customer hat and experience your business as customers do. 2. You are probably less customer-focused than you think. 3. Don't assume that repeat customers are loyal customers. 4. Customers who feel appreciated, respected, and recognized are loyal because they have an emotional connection to your company. 5. Your positive attitude toward the customer does not mean the relationship is mutual. 6. Pay attention to the little things. 7. Anticipate customers' needs before they become aware of them. 8. Good customer relationships arise from your corporate culture, not your programs or initiatives. 9. If you listen closely, your customers will tell you how to impress them. 10. The way you treat your employees is the way they will treat your customers. 11. Did you know that around 70% of our viewers haven't subscribed to our channel yet? If you're one of them, why not consider hitting that subscribe button? It's a great way to stay up to date with our latest videos and support our channel at the same time. 11. Join the majority of our community and subscribe today. Thanks for watching.